So as I said, we're going to sit in Sukhasana. If you do want to elevate your hips in any way, my blocks, I need to get some new blocks actually. My blocks are too tall to sit on. You need some of the flatter ones, but if you've got a folded up blanket or something, that's sometimes quite nice to use as well. So as you come into a cross-legged position, just take a moment or two to make sure you do feel pretty comfortable. So we'll be sitting here for a little bit and lengthen your spine, trying to get the kind of the base of your head just aligned with your spine, but not in a rigid way. You want to still feel a little bit relaxed. And your hands can be either palm up or palm down, whatever feels comfortable to you. And see if you can either close your eyes or lower your gaze. And then we'll just begin the practice, just taking a deep inhale through your nose. And then we'll just breathe out through your mouth. So getting rid of all of the air. And you do that again, try and take in as much air as you can. So breathing maybe all the way down to your belly. And then exhaling through your mouth. When you come to the end of that exhale, just close the lips and continue your breath just in and out through your nose. Just coming into the unique rhythm that is your breath. So just allowing the breath to move. You might deepen it a little bit on the inhale and maybe try and lengthen the exhale a little. Just as you start to be aware of your breath. So our practice today is a grounding practice, really for autumn. As we come into autumn, then Vata becomes more prevalent, and it is signified by kind of dry skin and unsettledness with all the kind of windy weather. So the grounding practice is really designed to kind of draw us back towards the earth. We do spend a lot of time in our heads, and sometimes we lose that connection, that stability with the earth. So really just using our practice today to try and do that. So we're going to invite in some movement as well. So when you're ready, we're just going to take your right hand just towards the mat, sit to a comfortable position. You could start to bend into your elbow if you like, and then just start to reach up and over with your left arm. Keep the chest still rotating a little bit towards the ceiling, and that left sit bone just gently pressing down. Start to breathe into the left side of your body. On your next inhale, just come back up again. And hold here on the exhale. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, we're going to reach up with both arms. And this time we're rotating round towards the right. So just make your way around, left hand on your right knee and right fingertips behind you. Start to draw yourself around a little bit more. So we're rinsing out in the center of your body. The breath just moving as you twist. Inhale back towards the center. Again, just staying here on the exhale. And then as you inhale, we'll reach back up. This time we're going to move forward. So again, just start to lean forwards a little bit. And you might just take your hands just in front of you, or maybe you can walk your hands a little bit further out. Just kind of see where it takes you. Sit bone still, pressing down. And you'll feel that moving more into your hips now. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to walk ourselves back up. Take your time. As you come up, we'll just change the cross of your legs. So come in just with the other foot in front. And see if you can settle yourself in, and then move your left hand down and reach up and over with your right arm. Just again, stretching through the side body. It's quite a lot of side body work today. Just warming it up a little. On that inhale, just moving back up. And just holding there on the exhale, just let everything kind of settle back down again. And then when you're ready on your inhale, we'll reach up and we'll come in for that twist. Start to rotate round towards the left, using your right hand to draw you round. So focusing on our breath. And trying to make the breath a little bit louder in your thoughts. So inhale, we'll make our way back towards the centre. Again, just holding on your exhale. And we'll take that forward fold again. So if you want to reach up, you can. If you just like to move forwards, then you can do that as well. And then maybe just take the hands down, back to move in. See how it feels this time around. Okay, we'll make our way back up. So take your time, walking your hands back. We're going to move to all fours now, so you can come off your walk if you're sitting on one, and just start to make your way around, just in your own way, if you come round. And we'll just move into a few cats and cows here. So again, in this grounding practice, pay particular attention to spreading your hands and making sure that they're directed to the ground. And then as you inhale, just dropping the belly, start to peel forward through your chest. And on the exhale, just start to move through it in your own way, up your tailbone and round your back. In a grounding practice, we don't just kind of use the earth to connect to it, we also use it to kind of push up and out of. So we're trying to kind of rise up and out of it as well, and to get that sensation. Okay, when you're ready, we'll move back towards the centre. As you come in, we're going to come into a wide leg child's pose. So you can start to push your knees wide and your hips back a little. And then maybe just start to stretch your arms out in front of you. Now you can either stay here, or we're going to come over to one side. So you could come up onto your fingertips first to make it easier, and then walk your hands across to the right. And then maybe placing your left hand on top of your right hand. Again, bringing that stretch into the side of your body. When you're ready, we'll change and go the other way. So you can walk through centre and maybe place your right hand on top of your left. When you're ready, slowly come back up. So just into that all fours position. So once more, just spreading your fingers, keeping the belly pulled in. I'm going to stretch your right leg out to the side. So just taking your foot so it's kind of level with your hip. And you can either have the side of your foot on the ground or your foot on the ground. It's really up to you. Now from there, we're going to walk back first. So just take your time and then start to lift your chest up. So reaching with your arms, we're going to move over towards that right side. So lengthening over, just start to reach up and over with your left arm. Again, just to where it feels right to you, to where you feel the stretch. As you inhale, slowly come back up again. So reaching up with your arms. I'm going to move forwards again. So just slowly release the hands and maybe start to walk the hands further out again. So again, you can either stay here or take your left arm underneath your right, and you might need a block here, either laying down onto that shoulder or onto a block. Maybe your head can come down as well. And if you like, you can stretch your right arm further in front of you. And when you're ready, we'll bring the right hand so in front of your face, so you can then just push yourself back up again and come onto that kind of hands, one knee, and then we're going to slide your right leg round towards your left leg. So we're just going to slide it towards the back, if you like. Not much room here, but when you're ready, just slide it back. If you want to, you can also move your left foot out to the side, which gives you a little bit more kind of stability. And then we'll lift up through your right arm. So just opening your right arm up towards the ceiling. Now, if you want to, you can also lift your right foot off the ground, but just see how that feels. And then if you'd like a little bit more, just reach your right arm past your ear. Again, just bringing length and a stretch into the side of your body. And you're ready, reach back up with your right arm, and then we'll place your right hand down towards the mat. As you do that, tuck your toes under, so on your right foot, and then step back into a plank position. From that plank position, we're going to come down to the ground. So you could lower your knees first, and then bend your elbows, and lower yourself all the way down towards the mat. As you come down, press your toes down, pubic bone down. And if you'd like to, we're going to take the hands on top of your head today, but if it's too much, you can always take them away. So on the back of your head, the hands get placed. As you inhale, we're going to lift the chest. We're going to hold there, and then when you're ready, you're going to dip over towards one side, so the right elbow taps down. Inhale to the center, and then exhale, the left elbow taps down. Inhale, center. We'll do that again. So again, just moving a little bit side to side, just strengthening through the lower back. If it feels too much, take your hands away. Just lift up into a cobra. Okay, we'll do one more of these just on either side, so take your time. And when you're ready, release yourself down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And on an inhale here, we're lifting up to a cobra, so just a little baby one, so draw the shoulders back, lift your chest up a little bit. As you exhale, just slowly release all the way back down again. As you inhale, we'll push up, so just up onto your knees, and then walk your knees forwards. So just coming back into that all fours, and you can make any movement you like when you get there. So we're going to do all of that on the other side. So when you're ready, we're going to step your left foot out to the side. So again, just choose where you want the side of the foot or the foot on the ground. And then from here, start to walk your hands back and start to draw your belly in and lift your chest up. When you're ready, we'll reach over to the left and then reaching up and over with your right arm. So just to where you feel a nice stretch through the side body. Breathing into it. When you're ready, back to the center, reach both up with both arms. We'll come forwards again, so take your time, releasing yourself down, walking your hands back out again. And then this time, right arm underneath the left. You can always keep both hands forward if this doesn't suit you, this pose. And use a block if you need to. And maybe start to stretch your left hand further away. When you're ready, slowly bring that left hand towards your face again and press yourself back up. So coming back into that all fours. So from here, we're going to slide your left foot, so round towards the back again, or round towards your right leg. And as you get there, maybe you move your right foot out a little bit more. And then start to open up through your left arm. Maybe lift through your left leg. If you want a bit more, stretch your left arm so past your ear, but just work with what feels good. When you're ready, release your hands down towards the ground, tuck your toes under on your left leg and lift your right leg up. So we're in this plank position. And then from there, lowering your knees or bending your elbows and lowering yourself down to the mat, whatever suits you. When you get there, we'll take an inhale and we'll just lift our chest. So just coming into that little baby cobra again. As you exhale, release down. On the inhale, we'll start to push back, so up onto your knees. And then as you exhale, we'll tuck the toes and we'll lift the hips, downward facing them. So coming into our first downward dog again. You don't have to do this. If you want to come into a child's pose, you can, but if you are here and you want to move, fiddling out your feet a little, moving the hips a little. So when you're ready, we are going to step forwards with your right leg. So into just a low lunge position. So as the right foot goes forward, your left knee is just going to go down. And again, you might need a block here, but you don't necessarily have to have one. So if you've got one, then grab it. But if you don't want to use it, you don't need to. So from here, again, start to use the ground a bit more. So spreading your toes. Start to lift up a little. And you can either put your hands onto your leg or you can reach up with both arms. So just coming into this low lunge position. Start to let the hips drop down. Okay, let's take one more inhale. Release your hands back down towards the ground. So if you wanted to use a block here, you would just place it underneath your left hand. And then your right hand is going to reach forwards. And then you're going to reach behind you with that right hand. And if you want to, you can bend your left leg and you might grab hold of your foot. You don't, but you can reach back towards it and not grab hold of it as well. And you cannot bend it either. You just work where it feels right to you. Just breathing deeply wherever you are with it. Okay, when you're ready, if you've got your foot, just gently release it and then placing both of your hands onto the mat again. From there, tuck your toes under on the back leg, so lifting up through that back knee and step back into a plank position. Now as you come into plank, we are going to come into a forearm plank here, so you might want to lower your knees down. So if you're doing that, just lower your knees down towards the mat. And then we'll lower down to that forearm plank. So if you lower down through your right arm and then down through your left arm. So you're just onto your forearms, just in front of you. Maybe your arms are shoulder width apart. Maybe you have your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Belly pulls in. So we're going to do a little variation on the side plank again. So from there, if you turn your right hand in, so it's kind of pointing towards your left elbow. And then we're going to come over onto your right knee. So as you do that, again, you're just in this kind of plank position you were in before. So your top leg could be extended, your bottom leg bent, and you're just in this side plank. And you can stay there. If you want a little bit more, obviously, lift your bottom knee off the ground and come into plank. We are going to dip the hips here, but you don't have to. You can stay where you are. So we're just going to lower down through the hip. Maybe you tap the ground and then lift it back up again. So again, lower the hip towards the mat and lift back up. Do that twice more. So lower down, start to lift up. And one more time. It's not fun. Okay, from there, lower down through that forearm, come into that forearm plank and then lower to the mat. So drop your knees down. Release your knees and relax down onto the mat. Bring your arms round. Drop your head. Breathing deeply. And let the mat support you now. So you've done all the hard work there, so you can release a little bit. Maybe taking a deep inhale through your nose and just sigh out your mouth. Now, as we are here, we're going to come in for Shavasana. And again, you could just rest here if you feel like you need it more. Otherwise, we'll bring your big toes together, slightly touch. Bring your hands by your sides so your palms are down towards the ground. And then as you inhale, just start to press on your palms. Maybe lift your chest a little. If you do want to lift your feet off the ground and just extending the legs behind you. If you want a little bit more, reach your fingertips back, so towards your feet. Maybe the chest lifts a little more. Just breathing deeply. Okay, let's take one more inhale. We'll slowly release all the way back down again. So again, maybe bring your arms back around, lowering the head. When you're ready, we're going to come up and try that on the other side. So come up onto your hands first and then push yourself up onto your knees. Again, as you come onto your hands and your knees, if you do want to any movements here, then please do. So we are going to make our way back into a downward facing dog. So up your toes and lift your hips and press back. Again, start to use your hands here. So pressing through your fingers, start to push and lift up and out of your hands and up and out of your shoulders. So using the ground to lift up and out of, to rise out of. So this time we're going to step forwards with your left leg. So we'll step it towards the top. Again, we're going to lower your right knee towards the mat. So once you feel pretty secure, start to lift your upper body. So hands on your leg or reach your arms up and start to let the hips release down. Okay, so from here, release back down. So if you're using your block, again, you're just going to bring it underneath that left hand, right hand even. And then from here, we're going to start to reach forwards, so through your left arm. And if you want to, you're going to bend your right leg and reach back. And again, if you can grab it, then grab it. If you're using the block, it just helps to lift the chest up a little bit. Also do the same thing coming up onto your fingertips. Again, if it doesn't feel right, just release the leg. If it doesn't feel right to bend it, if it feels too much for your knee, then don't bend it. Okay, when you're ready, we will release the leg. Bring your hands all the way back down towards the mat again. So from here, we'll tuck the toes under on your back leg, so lifting your knee, and step back to plank. So again, as soon as you come into plank, you can definitely lower your knees down if you like. So we're going to come back into that forearm plank. So with the knees lowered, they're pretty far back from our hips now, so it's not the same as kind of being in this all fours position. The knees in this forearm plank are quite far back, and the bottom is not picking up, but it's kind of engaged. So left forearm down first, so just lower yourself down, and then that right forearm lowers itself down. So we're going to come in the opposite way, so your left forearm is going to turn in now towards your right fingertip, towards your right elbow. And then we're going to lean over towards that left knee, sorry, we've done that wrong. So your left arm comes in, and we're going to lean over towards that left side, so onto your left knee this time. And again, as you come in, you might extend your top leg, and you might reach your arm up. You might lift both of your knees up off the ground. Just see how it feels. So we are going to dip the hips again. So when you're ready, lower the hips, and then lift them back up again. And you don't have to touch the ground. We're just lowering and lifting. Make sure the movement is happening from your hips. Do one more. Okay, very nice. Okay, slowly release your forearms down again. Release your knees and lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. Relax down. So bring your arms down up your head. If you do want to make any movement, you can always bend your knees and A little bit side to side. Just whatever served you here. And then start to let your body be supported by the earth. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to make our way back up. So again, just bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push yourself up into all fours. So although we're doing grounding practice and we're pretty close to the ground for the whole class, we are going to come in and do some standing postures. So from here, we're going to move back into our downward facing dog. So when you're ready, we'll tap the toes and we'll start to lift the hips up and press back. Again, you could come into these postures in any other way. If you do want to use a block here, then grab a block and use that. So when you're ready, we're going to step your right foot up towards the top of your mat. We're moving to warrior two as you come in. So the back foot is going to turn, and then we're going to lift up into that warrior two position. Again, just coming into it in your own way, bending that front knee, start to reach the arms. So opening up through your chest as you do that, and sending your gaze along that front hand. Again, in this grounding posture, try and see if you can use your feet a little bit more. So spread through all four corners of your feet. Start to feel that you're not just sinking down into the posture, but you're actually being lifted up and out of it. Opening through your chest. Keep the breath grounded as well. So keep that breath moving. Keep it deep and thorough. And from here, we're going to keep the legs, but we're going to move into side angle. So lengthening forwards over your right leg, right forearm down, left arm stretching up and over. We're still keeping that sense of grounding and keeping that sense of lifting up. So we're not leaning heavily on the front hand, but we're using our core to keep us lifted. If you do want to come deeper, then just moving down with a block or your hand towards the ground, but without collapsing into it. Keep engaged throughout the whole of your body. Good. Keep the side body opening up, the breath moving. Good. Very nice. Okay, let's take one more inhale. We'll start to move up again. So draw your belly in, start to rise back up again. Take your time. From here, we're going to move into triangle. So you might hop your back foot in a little bit. Start to straighten your front legs. Again, if you want to move that back foot in a little, you can. Push your way a little bit, so through your left hip, and lengthen over the right leg. So just the way you can, using your block if you'd like to. Either that top hand reaching up, or maybe you bend the top arm and take it behind your back. But remember, it's a sense of spaciousness that we're trying to create. We're not necessarily trying to get down any further. I mean, if your body opens up like that, it's fine, but it doesn't have to. You're trying to get that sense of spaciousness on that bottom side waist, so lengthen it. It's actually as if we're trying to move it away from that leg rather than trying to get it further down towards the leg, which is sometimes where we get to. Okay, when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll rise back up, so draw your belly in. So as you come up, your right toes are turned out, and we're just going to turn your left toes out as well. So we're coming into goddess. And again, you may need to adjust your feet. They might not necessarily be in the exact right position. Start to bend your legs, bring your hands towards the center. So coming into goddess, keeping your shoulders over your hips, tailbone points down, and the knees gently press in. So from here, we're going to place your hands onto your thighs. Now we're just taking a little twist here. So as you inhale, just your right shoulder is going to move over towards that left thigh a little bit without dropping down too much. So keep the length and turn your head at the same time. And inhale, move back into the center. Let's go the other way. Start to rotate round again. Now that, when you're ready, inhale back into the center. Now this time we're going to turn towards your right leg. And as you do that, you'll turn on the toes of your back leg. And then you can release your hands down towards the mat. We are going to come in for Malasana here. So move your hands to the inside of your right foot. Start to gently move the right foot out towards the right side of your mat. Maybe even turning the toes out a little bit if you want to. So the toes turn towards the right even more. And then we're going to step up towards the top of your mat. So just bending your back leg, step up. So you might come up so that you've just got your hands on your knees, and you might move a little bit here. Let's use your block here as well. If you want to, you can come down a little bit further. Place your forearms onto your legs. If you do have one of these blocks, you can sit on it. Just have to position it, make sure you're not going to fall off it. It is quite handy to come onto. And if you can sit in Malasana quite comfortably, you can do that as well. And then your right arm is going to go down towards the ground, beside your right foot. And we use that arm to kind of press the knee open. And then we're just going to open up through your left arm. We're going to change sides. Take your left arm down and then start to reach and open through your right arm. Very nice. Okay, from there, release both hands to the mat. And then from here, we're going to come up. So just gently straighten your legs, just a little, enough so you can turn your toes forward. And then maybe walk your feet in a little bit so they're maybe hip distance apart. And then we're folding forward. So you could use your block again here, which again just helps to alleviate any kind of stress you might feel in the lower back. Got the support of your block, then the body can relax a little bit. Otherwise, the hands can go down. Wherever it feels right, bend your knees. As you inhale here, lengthen forwards through your spine, so coming up halfway. As you exhale, take your hands down. We're going to step back to downward dog here. Now we're going to move into pigeon. So if you do want to, please feel free to lower your knees to the mat and then come into pigeon in any way that you want to. Otherwise, with me, you're going to lift your right leg high. And then your right knee is going to come over towards your right wrist, laying the right leg on the ground, and then start to slide your left leg behind. And if that doesn't suit you, you can come into pigeon in any way. So you're going to relax into pigeon eventually, but if you do want to grab a block here, then it's quite handy underneath that right hip. And it just allows your hip to then relax a little bit, because if it's kind of hanging in the air, then it won't relax because it feels under threat. And then start to settle down into it. Again, if anybody wants to do a half pigeon, I'll go over that as well, but you can just relax there. So for the half pigeon, you're just going to bend your left leg as well as the right leg, and then just moving forwards from there. You just have to think, where do you feel the stretch the most? Moving in with your breath. Allowing your body to soften. And using the support of the ground to help you. Okay, we're going to start to make our way up. So slowly come up onto your hands. And again, if you want to, you can come with me, or you can come just to all fours. So you could tuck your toes under on your left leg, lift your left knee, and then push yourself back, downward facing dog. Again, if that doesn't suit you and you want to come up in any other ways, so come to all fours, and then make your way to down dog, then you can do that. Now done. So we are going to come in. I'm going to do these postures on the other side. So when you're ready, your left foot is going to step towards the top of your mat. I'm going to move to warrior two. So turning through your back foot, start to rise up. Just take your time in positioning your feet and your legs as you feel like you want to, and then stretch your arms out, opening up through your chest, turning your gaze, steadying your breath. Start again to feel that support beneath your feet. Okay, so we'll make our way to side angle when you're ready. So keep the legs the same, start to move forwards, lengthening that right arm over your ear, maybe taking your hand down. Again, keeping that sense of the energy in your body moving upwards and outwards. So we're trying not to create any kind of angles or bends, which then the energy starts to move down. Especially when we start to move deeper into the postures, we tend to kind of forget about the direction of the energy. We want it to keep moving upwards. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. When you're ready, slowly release, so come back up. And we're going to find our way into triangle now. So you might hop your back foot in a little bit. If you want a shorter stance, just take it in, straightening through your front leg, pushing away through your right hip and lengthening over that left leg. So coming down again to where it suits you. Top hand align with your bottom arm if you can. And then maybe bend your top hand and take it behind your back if you want to open your chest up even more. But then if it doesn't suit you to do that, then you just simply stay with what feels best, what feels right to you. Okay, let's take one more inhale. We'll come back up, so draw your belly in. Lift yourself all the way back up again. So as we come up, our left toes are turned out, and we're just going to turn your right toes out as well. Again, make adjustments to your feet or your legs and adjust it in any way you need to. Start to bend your legs. Bring your hands to the center again. Align your shoulders. Sink the hips and open up through your knees a little bit. Okay, let's come in for that twist. So hands onto your thighs. We'll move the left shoulder over first this time. So just start to draw that left shoulder across. You're ready, back towards the middle. We'll go the other way. So keep the length in your body, just rotating around. Okay, back towards the center. As you come in, again, we're going to come over towards that left leg. So we're going to turn through the toes of your right leg. Hands go down towards the mat again. So we come into that lunge. So we are going to move into Malasana once more. So you move your hands into the inside of your left foot. Start to move your left foot all the way over to the left side of your mat. Maybe turning the toes out here as well. When you're ready, we'll bend through your back leg and we'll step up towards the top of your mat. So both sets of feet are turned out. Again, you might just start and come here and move a little bit. Moving down, so taking your arms onto your legs, or bring your hands off your legs and coming into Malasana. If you do want to use the block again, just grab it and just sit on it if you can. So this time we'll take our left arm down first, and we're just going to open up through that right side. Using that left arm to push the knee open a bit more. And release down, so right arm down, left arm reaching. Well done, slowly release. Come back into Malasana, and then we are going to take our hands to the ground here. So just start to straighten your legs a little. Turn your toes forward. Again, walk them in so they're hip distance. Bend your knees, grab your block if that helps you. And everything release a little bit, but the belly stays pulled in and the knees stay nice and soft. Okay, from there, on an inhale, start to lengthen forwards through your spine, so stretch it. As you exhale, release your hands, And again, we'll make our way back to downward facing dog. So coming into this down dog, again, if you want to come into pigeon in any other way, then please do that. Otherwise, lifting your left leg high, left knee towards your left wrist, releasing the left leg down, stretching your right leg behind. Again, if you want to grab a block, place it underneath your left hip. If you would like to come into that half pigeon, then bending your right leg as well as your left leg. And then just making your way in to whatever suits you. So releasing yourself down to a comfortable position. So one where your body can open up a little bit. To scan your body. So often we do hold on to tension, and it's not necessarily where you're stretching, so it might not necessarily be in your hip, especially if you're supporting it with a block. It could be in your face or your jaw. Maybe across your forehead. If you can relax there a little. Okay, start to move up. Take your time. Just use your hands, press yourself up, removing the block if you have them. And then from here, this time, we're just going to move back into a wide leg child's pose. So you could, if you want to, tuck your toes down, push to down dog first if you want to make some movement. And then just lowering your knees, widening your knees. Go into that child's pose. Maybe relaxing the arms this time, releasing the head. When you're ready, we're going to make our way up. So just use your hands to push yourself back up. And then we're going to bring your legs round towards the front. So we're going to make our way into Dandasana, or our staff pose, which is a really grounding seated posture. So starting to feel a connection with your sit bones and then through your legs as well. And then start to bring your hands onto the ground. So we start to press the hands back down, lengthening through the crown of your head. Again, without force, so try and keep a sense of softness in it. Although you're trying to extend it, don't lock it out. So still have a sense of being at ease with it. So we're going to keep this idea of Dandasana as we move into our forward fold. You can use a strap here, but if you want to just keep it quite soft, you can do that as well. So as you inhale, we'll reach with the arms, and then on the exhale, we're just going to move forwards. Excuse me. So as you come in, you can place your hands on your legs or your ankles or your feet, or you use your strap. Or today, if you want to, just take your hands by your sides, just palms facing up, and then just let yourself release into it. So often we're quite kind of grasping with our stretching and trying to get somewhere all the time. Sometimes our body responds more to us just being and just letting the body open up itself. Stay with your breath. Focus your gaze or close your eyes. When you're ready, slowly rise back up again. So we are going to move into a twist here. So keep your right leg straight, bend your left leg, and then move the left leg over the top of your right. So again, you can use your hand or your arm here to draw yourself round. And if you do want a little bit more, bend your right leg in as well. So the right leg just tucks in, and then we still move round towards the left, your left fingertips on the ground. Start to press down gently through your left foot. And lift up through your left hand. So we're still grounding, although we're twisting. You're ready, release towards the centre. So we'll change sides, so bring your legs out in front. Keep your left leg straight and bending your right leg in and take it over the top. So if you want to twist from here, then just do that, or bend in through your left leg and then start to make your way round towards the right. Release towards the centre again. So we're going to make our way down onto your mat. So if you take your legs out in front of you, if you bring your feet down towards the bottom of your mat, so you can either just lay yourself down, or having your legs out in front, stretch your arms out, and then take an inhale, and then start to move back. So with a straight back, you can then tuck the tailbone and start to lower yourself all the way down with control. When you get there, we'll bend the knees. So we are going to come in and do a little bit of core work here, with a twist as well, but a little bit of core work. So we're going to have your feet flat, and then if you lift your right leg up, we're going to cross it high over the top of your left leg, so there are no gaps. And then lift your left foot up off the ground, so your knees are kind of in. And then interlink your fingers behind the back of your head. Taking an inhale, we're going to draw the knees in more, lift your tailbone, and lift your upper body up towards your knees. And then when you're ready, slowly releasing back down again. So we'll do that again. So inhale really slowly, with a little squeeze at the top. Exhale to slowly lower. And the feet don't come all the way down, they just kind of release. We'll do that twice more. So inhale. Exhale to lower. And last one. Now from there, spread your arms out wide and then lower your legs over towards the left side. If it feels too much, uncross your legs, and like to turn your head towards the right, do that as well. And you're ready, back towards the centre. So uncrossing your legs, and then we'll change the cross of your legs. So take that left leg up and over the top of your right, and to link your fingers behind the back of your head, start to lift your left foot off the ground. Again, when you're ready, on an inhale, start to draw your knees in, lifting the upper body, get that squeeze. Exhale to lower. Do that again, take your time, so move through it really slowly. Start to feel the tailbone lifting and the upper body drawing it in. Let's do two more.
Well done. When you're ready, slowly release, stretch your arms out, and then lower your legs over towards the right side, turning your head to the left. Back into the centre when you're ready. Uncross your legs and draw your knees towards your chest. You can make a little bit of movement there. We are going to come in for a little bridge next. So if you do want to use your block for this bridge, then grab that. When you're ready, feet flat onto the ground. So if you're using your block, then just lifting your hips up. Place the block underneath your hips and release down onto the block again. If you'd rather come up a little bit higher, then moving up, and if you come onto your shoulders, then you start to move your shoulder blades underneath and let your fingers on your low back. But just what feels right to you. We'll take one more inhale here. So either just lifting your hips off the block and remove it, or if you've got your hands clasped, release them and lower yourself all the way back down. And if you want to draw your knees in one more time, you can. And then when you're ready, we are going to move into Shavasana. So if you do want to grab a jumper or socks or something, please do that. Making your way down when you're ready. Finding a comfortable position. Start to feel the support of your mat against your body again. Begin to notice your breath. Close your eyes and breathe easy. Imagine you're standing at a trailhead on the edge of the woods. It's a crisp, cool autumn day. The sky is overcast, but the warmth of the sun is coming through. You take a deep breath. There's a wood fire burning somewhere. It smells like home. You step onto the trail, and as you walk on the soft, rich earth, dry leaves crunch at your feet. You're walking under a canopy of trees. The trees are all different colours: red, orange, yellow, and green. You stop for a moment and stand very still. All you hear is the sound of your own breath. A red leaf falls at your feet. You think about picking it up, but decide to leave it where it fell and continue on your way. As you walk, dry leaves crunch underneath. You come upon a log that's fallen across your path. You step on top of it, standing for a moment on the thick brown bark. All you hear is the sound of your own breath.
An orange leaf falls at your feet. You leave it where it fell and continue on your way. The path winds round, and it's more of the same, only brighter. More leaves have fallen here, letting more light stream through the trees. You stop for a moment. Stand very still. All you hear is the sound of your own breath. A yellow leaf falls at your feet. You leave it where it fell and continue on your way. As you walk, dry leaves crunch underneath. The smell of the wood fire is getting stronger. Through the bare branches above, you see smoke moving across the sky. You stop for a moment and stand very still. All you hear is the sound of your own breath. A green leaf falls at your feet. You leave it where it fell and continue on your way. As you walk, dry leaves crunch underneath. You see the end of the trail. You're almost there. Dry leaves crunch underneath. You reach the end of the trail. There's a log cabin before you, smoke billowing from its chimney. You walk to the cabin, open the front door, and step into the warm room. Someone you love is there waiting for you. You smile and sit down beside them. All you hear is the crackle of the roaring fire. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale, just through your nose, and then just sighing it out your mouth. And do that again if you'd like. And start to move a little bit through your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretching your arms over your head, just taking a full stretch. As the arms come over, we'll start to bend the knees and just move a little bit. If you like to roll over onto your side, you can do that. And then just when you're ready, we'll start to come up, so take your time. So just find a comfortable seat when you're ready. We'll bring the palms together, so just in front of your heart. Just leaving a little gap to signify an openness in your heart. Thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed our grounding autumn practice. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll stop the recording and then you can